Hello, everyone. James Eubanks with Fathers Against Inequalities Towards Humanities. And today I'm showing you a picture right now. This is my daughter's room here. As you can see, the door is closed, and there's a reason for that. But I'm going to get back with you about the door being closed in a minute and why it's closed and why I do the organization and how it gets started. Bear with me for just 1 minute. I'm going down here, just blacking out a little bit. Okay, now, as I stated, as I showed you earlier there, the door being closed, there's a reason behind all of that. And the reason why, let me tell you why I started the organization. The organization, Father's Organization, was started because of the experiences in which I went through as it pertains to visitation and child support, where so many other men experience the same thing in the world. And it's also in terms of how do you cope with the hand in which the judicial system, the court system deals you, because, we all deal with things differently. And I'm gonna get back to the door. Her room, I keep the door closed basically because of, my daughter doesn't stay with me. I have visitation like so many other men, in which the judicial system gives you basically normal 4 days every other weekend out of the month and maybe a couple days during the week. But normally it's, like I said, it's 4 days monthly, which is not equivalent to, you have 30 days in a month. So 4 days out of the month or 6 days out of the month, that's nothing to give a father. So when my daughter's not here, I keep her door closed because, it's like one of those situations where you try to remember the memories that you shared while, we were together, doing things as, a father and daughter. And then once, you know, your child leaves you and goes back with the other parent, it's sometimes it's hard to deal with. But and a lot of men are not able to deal with the situation because, of missing your child. It's like, in other words, you're grieving a child that's still living, but they're no longer in your presence, So you have to wait again until it's your weekend to be with that child. So, how do you cope with that? Because there are men that can't deal with it, and they take things hard. You have men that also, because of the fact, I mean, there have been stories in which men have committed suicide, and they still committed suicide because of the hand the judicial system has dealt them. Which is very sad and unfair. You have men that are locked up right now in prison because of not being able to pay their child support. I know you have some men that run away from it, but you do have some responsible men that want to be a part of their child's lives, and do what they need to do. But if you miss a payment here and there, that can put you behind, and the court system doesn't really care. Because of the fact that if you're behind, they'll pull your license, or then you can't get to work like you need to, and I mean, and if you get too far behind, you may be facing prison time. So, and it's sad. You have individuals, fathers that are homeless because of they can't pay particular child support in which the court system has dealt them to pay, and it's a sad situation. So this is why I'm so adamant about doing what I do, because I know how it is. I know how it is. Going in the courts, dealing with particular judges that don't want to give you a fair share on terms of visitation and whatnot, and telling you when and and how long you can see your child. It's a sad day. It's a sad situation. Because I remember a situation where a father had put a gun to his head because he could no longer be a part of his son's life. And in terms of he was taking him to school on a regular basis, and then something happening with the mother, and the custodial parent, and she didn't, set it up, I guess, so he couldn't necessarily be a part of his child's life in terms of taking him to school anymore. So they really, got to that gentleman, and he pointed a gun to his head. Of course, the police shot him and whatnot, and it was sad. That shouldn't even happen. And I remember another episode where gentleman in PG County, he was mad because he had to pay, I think it was $600 and something for child support. And, he asked the mother, I guess he didn't want to have to pay that. And she, didn't work with him, in other words. And he took her life and the child's life, and that was so sad. And that was a situation that shouldn't have not happened, and he went to jail over that. And, and I know the children don't ask to be here. I understand that. The children don't ask to be here, so it's our moral obligation to take care of our children. But at the end of the day, it should be a 50-50 shared custody, arrangement, not seeing your child, 4 days out of the month, or 6 days out of the month. That's unconstitutional in itself, because you have fathers that good fathers out here that are breaking their backs, working 2 and 3 jobs, trying just to pay that child support so their children can have what they need, as well as, and also try to live, be able to survive. And on the other hand, the court system, they get a cutback from the federal government in terms of when they place individual fathers on child support. So again, it's a situation that needs to be addressed. The whole system needs to be overhauled, and revamped, because it's sad. It's sad, and then when holidays roll around, you might not have your child on a particular holiday, or it could have been your weekend. To have that child, and if the parent gets, custodial parent, mother gets angry, and she might find a way so you can't have that child on your particular day. Now you got to go to back to the courts and file, a motion, a contempt motion, or whatever you have to do in order to make up that time. But as you know, years and years, time is going by. Time is going by, just like that. So, and the custodial parent has that child all the time, whereas the father, has a child less time, and this is sad. So I feel the pain in which these dads go through. I feel the pain, and I know it, how they feel. And but the only thing is, how do you deal with it? How do you cope with it when you dealt that bad hand, in a sense? Because of someone telling you when you could be a part of see your child, and I see it all the time. I see it all the time when fathers out there trying to go for visitation with their child, and somehow the mother makes it so hard for them to be able to see that child when it's their visitation. So, and fathers have their backs against the wall, and it shouldn't be that way. It took 2 people to make that child, 2, a sperm and an egg, to make that child. And at the end of the day, it should be 50-50, shared parenting, because that's what it's all about. The child needs both parents, not just one. It needs 2 parents. So again, how do these fathers handle the situation. And I'm gonna tell you the way I handle the situation is basically reaching out to my Father above, reading and studying His Word, and giving it all to Him. Once you take it off of you and give it to Him, you can handle it better. You can't do it on your own. You have to give it to Him, and and go. If you need an attorney, then you have to seek an attorney to get the help that you need. I mean, it can be costly. You have these fathers paying all this money, to an attorney to get the paperwork and representation they need in order to get visitation with their child. However, you can also be pro se and do that work yourself if you're capable of it. You do your research and and submit these documents to the court and represent yourself, in a manner of being able to get what you need, your rights as a father, because we have rights too. So I'm not saying women, on the other hand, don't go through similar situations when it comes to visitation or paying child support. But right now, I'm speaking in terms of the men, because majority of men that have to deal with this situation, and a lot of them are, they have it really bad because they don't know which way to turn, in a depressed state, you know, sleeping out here in the streets because they can't afford to pay this high priced child support, in which, the judge has laid down for them to pay, So on the other hand, and you want to be a part of their child's life. And it's sad the way the system is today. It needs to be overhauled, because no decent human being, no father should have to go through what they're going through in order to be a part of their child's life. Come on now. This needs to be done. So that's why I'm so adamant about, the father's organization, because in anything that goes against the grain when it comes to the inequalities towards humanity itself, because things need to be done, and you shouldn't have suicides among fathers that are taking place in which the media doesn't put it out there. But just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So again, fellas, you just have to stay strong. If you're going through this, I can give you the guidance you need and direction that you need and the tools that you need, and I have, friends that are attorneys, so I can also put you in touch with an individual as well, or give you, the guidance that you need on these issues. Because like I say, I know it's a lot when you have to modify child support, which if you pay too much child support, you need to modify it and go back to court and fight for your rights, because that's the only way you're gonna get something done, is fighting for your rights. It's not a hard situation in terms of doing the paperwork and all, and getting your court date, but just can't take it laying down. So if you have any questions or anything or comments, you can reach out to me on the Fathers Against Inequality Towards Humanity page in itself on Facebook, and message me, and I'll get you the tools that you need to help you in your situation, because you don't have to go at it alone. And again, like I say, what gave me strength and is my Father above. And when you give it all to Him, and He'll work it out for you. He'll work it out. So I just want to get on here and share this message with you all, and share this video. Maybe it can help someone else that is dealing with certain issues in reference to this topic. And I'll talk to you all again. Take care and stay strong. Bye.